You ever spend 30 minutes rewriting a text? Just to delete it anyway? Or lie awake in bed, replaying a 5-second interaction from 3 days ago? Yeah. That's not just being thoughtful. That's your brain doing laps around a problem that probably didn't even exist. Overthinking doesn't show up like a fire alarm. It sneaks in like a push notification. Quiet, constant, and just distracting enough to make life feel stuck. And here's the wild part. The more intelligent or self-aware you are, the worse it gets. Because now you're not just thinking. You're thinking about how much you're thinking, and wondering why you can't stop. It feels productive. It feels like you're solving something. But most of the time, overthinking is just mental noise, dressed up like problem solving. So if you've ever felt paralyzed by your own mind, or exhausted from what-if spirals that go nowhere, this video is for you. Most people think overthinking is a flaw in their personality. Like, I just think too much, or my brain never shuts up. But here's the truth. Overthinking isn't who you are. It's what your nervous system does when it doesn't feel safe. It's a protection mechanism. When your brain feels uncertain or emotionally exposed, it starts generating scenarios, analyzing past moments, simulating every outcome. Not to annoy you, but to keep you safe. It thinks, if I prepare for every possibility, I won't get hurt. So you're not broken. You're not weak. You're actually highly adaptive. Your brain is trying to protect you in the best way it knows how, even if it's not very helpful right now. When you understand overthinking as a response to fear, not a reflection of your identity, you can stop blaming yourself. And instead of trying to fix your brain, you can learn how to calm it. One of the simplest ways to interrupt overthinking is this. Ask your brain a better question. Sounds too basic? Maybe. But most overthinking comes from asking the wrong kind of questions. Like, what if I screw this up? Or, why do I always do this? Your brain loves solving puzzles. But if you feed it anxiety-filled questions, it'll generate anxiety-filled answers. So instead of, what if this goes wrong, ask, what's one thing I can do right now that's useful? Let's say you're obsessing over a text you sent your crush. You can spiral for hours. Or you can ask, what would I be doing right now if I wasn't thinking about this? Boom. The answer pulls you out of the spiral. Your brain needs direction, not drama. Asking simple, empowering questions gives your mind a job. And that job is action, not rumination. Let's say you're in a group conversation and you make a joke. No one laughs. Your brain immediately spirals. Was that dumb? Do they all think I'm annoying? Cue the replay button in your mind. You're now watching the moment from 12 different camera angles. But here's the twist. Maybe they didn't laugh because someone else was talking over you. Or they just didn't hear it. Or, wild idea. It wasn't that funny. And that's okay too. Not every social moment has to be a win. This is where overthinking becomes toxic. When we assign deep meaning to things that weren't that deep. It turns neutral moments into existential crises. But here's the flip. Next time this happens, try narrating the moment out loud, in your head, like a nature documentary. The human attempts humor in the wild. The herd does not respond. He survives. It sounds silly, but it instantly creates distance. Humor breaks the spiral. Overthinking thrives in uncertainty. And your brain hates uncertainty. From an evolutionary perspective, our brains were designed to scan for threats. Because back in the day, not noticing a rustle in the bushes could mean death. So your mind stays busy trying to predict outcomes, control narratives, and eliminate surprises. But here's the kicker. Modern life isn't a jungle. Most threats now are emotional. Embarrassment, rejection, being misunderstood. Yet your brain treats them like physical danger. That's why your heart races when someone takes too long to reply to a text, or why you reanalyze a meeting 3 days later. Your brain is just trying to create certainty where none exists. And overthinking gives the illusion of control. You feel like you're being careful or responsible, but really you're just rehearsing fear. You're living in scenarios that haven't happened, and probably never will. So how do you break the loop? Here are 3 super doable steps you can start using today. Step 1. Notice the spiral. Literally say to yourself, I'm spiraling right now. Giving it a name takes away its power. You're shifting from being in the storm to watching it from the outside. Step 2. Ask a grounding question. Not, why am I like this? But something like, what can I control in the next 5 minutes? Or, what's one physical thing I can do right now? This tells your brain it has options, not threats. Step 3. Change your state. Get up. Move. Drink water. Touch something cold. Shake it off like a wet dog. Anything that interrupts the nervous system's loop will help you reset. None of this requires being perfect. You're not trying to erase overthinking. You're learning how to navigate it with a little more ease, humor, and clarity. If there's one thing to remember, it's this. Overthinking doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain is trying to protect you, just a little too much. You don't have to fight your thoughts like they're enemies. You just have to learn to not follow every single one of them. Not every thought deserves a reply. Not every feeling needs a full investigation. You're allowed to pause, to say, thanks, brain, but not today. To let a thought pass by like a train you don't need to board. The truth is, you don't need a perfectly quiet mind to live a good life. You just need a better relationship with your mind. One where you're in charge of what gets your attention. So the next time you find yourself spiraling into another overthinking session, try this. Smile at it. Seriously. Smile. Then ask yourself, what small thing can I do now that moves me forward? And go do that. One quiet, kind choice at a time.